Subscribe to Awaaz today. Click on the bell icon for latest national and international buzzing news.
And let me first thank Principal Ma'am and Mithun Sir, and of course I think Nirja and the rest of the team for inviting me, and great to have Rajdeep Sir here. He shares the name with one of the doyens of media in the country, Rajdeep Sardesai, who is probably the guru of all journalists in India. And of course, great to be with such young people makes me also feel a bit younger actually. And before I start answering and we start discussing, yes ma'am, you were very right. Even first when I was invited and I was told the topic, I was a bit apprehensive. And I hope I don't get into trouble speaking on the issue. Pretty sensitive stuff. Yes, I mean, it's very contradictory actually. Media and the corporate world. And you're asking us if it's really necessary for the corporate world. It's not a question of being necessary anymore because the media is the corporate world now. And things have happened over the years. Basically, I believe it had happened long back. It's not like a recent phenomenon. I mean, if you look at Times of India, who owns Times of India? Any idea? Bennett & Co. Okay, it's a company. And it's almost a 200-year-old company. So it's not like it's happened recently. Hindustan Times, which we are still associated with, the Birlas, Indian Express, the Goenkas. So it has always been there. The issue now is what has changed and why are we even talking about it? Media, when we say it's all about passion, you're just talking about mission, as ma'am said. No longer actually. I mean, if you've read a few years back, Mr. Vinit Jain had said, it's not about the news industry anymore. We are into the advertising industry. So that basically answers your question. Why is the corporate world interested in media? Because of the revenues, the profits that can be made, which ma'am was talking about. And I believe there are two things to it. And the second thing, of course, people can get into trouble with, is the political agenda. Okay? So, a lot of media houses are actually running in losses. But then the people who have invested in them have not come in for profits, they have some other agendas. Okay? So that serves their agenda. We have Tanushri, of course, she'll talk to you about the corporate communications she's into. So, all these big companies, they have their corporate communications department. And the really big ones thought, why just have one department, let's just get the media. And like Sir was saying, in 2005, that Reliance just came and took over Network 18, and I was a part of that at that time, and just 5,000 crores, I mean it was small change for them. And they had the huge Network 18 in their pocket. Okay? And maybe that was the first time a corporate did it very openly. Before that, they were doing it internally. Okay, they had shares in the companies, and more recently, of course, everyone knows how NDTV has been taken over by the Adanis. So it's not a question of why are they interested. Yes, they are interested because of the profits involved, because of the advertising. And when you have 90% of the revenue, like Mr. Jain had said, is from advertising, it makes sense for the corporate world to come here, and then there are agendas to be served. And there are so many aspects for it. And then of course there are the positive aspects for it. Okay? And basically why you all are here is because of it. Earlier, journalism, like I said, it was a mission and people got into it for passion and stuff. It was not really a career option. okay, in my times, because I had the passion for writing. I'm not even qualified to sit here with them actually, because I don't have the degree that you all have, okay, and it was all trial and error we learned. But because the corporate world came into it, we have such wonderful journalists, okay, and who are doing a wonderful job, and opportunities. You've got jobs now and so many options. So those are the positive points, and maybe more points we can discuss later. And I think I need the ladies to talk. In every college that I go to for such lectures and programs, there is hardly any show of hands, okay, which is sad. Especially coming from the journalism students, BMM students. Of course, you are what, Gen Z, I understand. You are more into mobiles and stuff, and Twitter and Instagram, and the lot of news that you see on Google. So when you're talking about shaping and the power of shaping the opinion, some seniors like us, for us it's a habit. The first thing we do when we get up in the morning is read a newspaper. Okay? Exactly. I mean, if there's no copy, we won't, it's not our day. Okay? But then it's not only about the print media. Of course, print media, it's not all pervading. We also have the audiovisual media, the television channels, which actually made a huge difference when you talk about the corporate world. It's the television media that they've really targeted. Like I said, the print media was always there. Okay, the corporate world was always there. And even today, Vaishnavi was just talking about having worked for Times Now. Wow, hats off to you actually. And read the Times of India and watch Times Now. There's a huge difference. Okay, that's the same group, but the editorial policy is absolutely different. Okay, and let's not go into what is right and what is wrong. I'm just talking about the difference. That is what it is all about. Yes, the monetary aspect is there, and there's definitely an angle to it, and profitability. Every corporate body wants to earn profits, okay, and they have got the modules. Because these corporate bodies came into it, I mean, Times of India, I think, started it all. They had all these big ads, okay, Times of India, advertising in a Times of India publication is huge. But then they realized that they were getting only the top guys, okay. What about the smaller advertisers, which some regional publications were getting, okay, the smaller people were getting. Then they said, no, let's go to the cities. And then we had all the pluses. If you remember the Times of India, we had New Bombay Plus, okay, for Navi Mumbai. And then they had for the Hindustan Times again started HD Live and stuff like that. What was that? Was it for reaching out to the readership? Maybe a very small fraction of it. But they wanted to capture the local market. Okay, and they did that. And then they finished the local market and they earned. And then when they realized that they're not making enough profit, they shut down the supplements. So it's very simple. All this is guided to the profit that you're making. But then again, like we touched on that, when the corporate world comes into media, it's not only about making money. Yes, it is an important fact. But then there are agendas. There is this power. Again, it's not about shaping public opinion. Yes, it is when you want to help somebody, okay, like we were discussing with the government, and any government of the day, okay, not just the present government. It has happened earlier also. You want to help shape that, you're doing that, okay. And what is more important for them is getting, like Vaishnavi was saying, those government contracts, that power that comes with it, okay. You and I will never realize that. But because I own a publication, I have a channel, I have a lot of power with the powers that be, and I can get things done, okay. So maybe I'm not earning in this channel, but I'm making a lot of money elsewhere. Okay, so that serves my purpose. This balance sheet, this profit and loss account is not going to show that profit, but you don't know, I'm making lots of money, I'm getting huge contracts because of this media power. Okay, and then there are political issues that I can get across. Maybe you're not reading a newspaper, but I'm going through the channels. If you're not watching the channels, I'm going to your social media, and you have this WhatsApp University, now the biggest of them all. Okay, so there are avenues, and so I earn not monetarily maybe, but in other ways. So that's how it works.
Yeah, those were some insightful statements. And there are a few things that we touched upon, particularly about the intangible power that the media beholds, right? A lot of which we cannot see, but it's there, right? So talking about intangible, let's talk about the reportage. Okay, so when corporates take over, right, I can understand a sub-editor or an editor getting pay rise, right? His salary increasing. But right at the grassroots level, the news gatherers, the reporters, the photojournalists, the people who are actually going onto the field, how are their lives changing after corporatization?
I think it's the other way around. The moment some company takes over, the editor is sacked. So that has been the case most of the places, because the editor also realizes that his policies, his way of thinking is not really going to work. That's why the takeover has happened. And it has happened recently, it has happened earlier. Like I said, Mr. Rajiv Sardesai quit the moment it was taken over, Network 18. And recently we had Ravish Kumar do that. Okay? And if you're talking about those of us on the lower strata, if I can say that, I'll tell you, it doesn't really matter nowadays. What really matters now is that I've got my job. Yes, it matters to me if I also get sacked, because the moment a new company comes in, they take their own decisions, their job cuts, okay, and then it goes down. I mean, it goes down from the top. I remember when Network 18 was taken over, CNBC, around 250 people were sacked. And I called up my boss and I said, "Sir, what's happening?" And he said, "Yaar, mujhe bhi nikhal diya." So that's how it was, okay? And it's very natural for that to happen. Because again, like you said, it's a corporate entity. If I can just explain to you how Network 18 worked. We had CNBC Awaaz, we had CNN IBN, and we had IBN 7. 3 channels, big channels. Each channel had its team. Okay? And then there were times when there were some important schedules. You had those booms of Network 18, you had CNN IBN there, CNBC there, IBN 7, all those booms you could see. Okay? And we were all very happy. And then there was Lokmat. IBM Lokmat also. 4 booms. Okay? Everyone is happy. And then Reliance comes. They take over Network 18 and then say, "What's happening? Why do we have different teams and why are 4 teams going for one event?" Okay? So they sacked everyone. They said, "We'll have some 2-3 teams." Okay? And one team goes to an event and all the channels share it. That makes sense to them, because then they don't have to pay 4 different teams. And then, like she was giving an example about Rupert and all that, it's much easier to handle news and shape your opinion, because then there's just one line of thinking that's going across. Earlier you had 4 editors, and who gave you the news the way they wanted it. That's not the case now. Earlier the editors were like, very reputed people. You had big names as editors. How many people really know the editors now? So that is not the case. So again there are pros and cons to it. Of course, a lot of people have lost jobs. Recently, Z sacked a lot of people. Okay, a lot of my friends who had been working there for some 20-30 years, they've lost their jobs. So that is an hazard. But then that's there in every industry. If I look at it positively, like I said, because this corporate world came into media, there were more opportunities. There are more opportunities, okay? Like I said, you've got these formal courses. Why do you have these formal courses? Because there's some demand. There's a demand because the corporate world has come into it. they need journalists, okay? And it's a different matter how they want to use them, but they need journalists. So if you take it positively, yes, there are opportunities. They want young, fresh blood, okay? Again, since it's a corporate thing, a senior guy is basically a burden for them, okay? You pay higher salaries. A young graduate, they'll get probably 3 graduates for the salary of 1 senior journalist with them. So, like she said, don't be very serious about it. Okay, we're not putting you down. You've got fantastic opportunities. Basically, it's people like us who will be phased out soon, and you all have the world before you. So, down the line, it's good for everyone. Ethics, passion, maybe that can take a bit of a backseat. But first, get a job, and that you'll get in this industry. What doesn't really come across is the real story. But then there are 2 ways to it. The corporate world has to be blamed. The viewers, the readers are also to be blamed. What's the big news in recent times? If I ask the youth, it's the Kiara Advani and the Siddharth. Look at the reaction. Okay? So you all know about it. Exactly, right? And how many people know what happened in Delhi yesterday about some political thing that happened? Hardly anyone. Okay? What happened in Maharashtra yesterday? No. But you'll have all the details of that marriage, okay? Okay? So that is how the public opinion is being impacted. Yeah, exactly. It's basically what I'm going to earn. I'm going to make a lot of more money in corporate communications because it's the company itself which has that department, okay? Second thing is, if I'm in a channel, I'm already doing what they expect me to do. So might as well join them and make more money. And like she said, otherwise I have to do some 4 or 5 things over here. There at least I don't have to do all that. So it's basically, why would you join some company? Okay, you've got 2 options you would obviously prefer, which is paying you better. Corporate communication pays you better. A lot of my friends who have been into journalism for years, they have now shifted there. They say it's better money, less stress, okay, and they can control things. They were being controlled earlier, so now they can do that themselves, and that helps. So that is there, and that's a fantastic opportunity actually. I mean, for all you journalism students. I mean, when you do PM, you only talk about journalism, but then journalism has a lot of options now because of these corporate entities. Every company has its corporate communications department, and that is an opportunity for each of us.
So that we talked about a very important thing here. What is news, right? In today's digital age, where content is like everywhere, and it's because people have access now, right? And we see new news media organizations emerging every single day in disguise of YouTube channels, Instagram accounts, Twitter handles, etc. Right? So, will we consider them the citizen journalists, the ones that we call, the one who edits the show, who scripts the show, everything is done by the one single person, right? Would we consider them journalists and their YouTube channels and their whatever their channel is a news media organization? If not, then what is a news media organization? How do we define that?
I think it's for the viewers to decide basically. Okay, I myself have a local channel over here. What I have noticed is earlier there were probably 2 or 3 major channels in Navi, Mumbai. Now if we have press conferences, there are almost 50. Okay, and basically what has happened is because of this advent of social media, everyone who has a mobile phone is a journalist today. Okay, and we talk about citizen journalists. That is a very positive term to use actually. They are not citizen journalists, they are journalists, okay? And if I have a mobile, I shoot, I put it on WhatsApp, and I write. What is missing here is fact checking. You simply can't trust anyone and everyone. But unfortunately that is happening. We have all these forwards on WhatsApp? How does it come? Somebody's shooting, somebody's putting some angle to it, and then it goes viral. Okay. So it's for the viewers, it's for the citizens to decide who is a journalist and who is not. Because everyone claims to be a journalist now.
Subscribe to Awaaz today. Click on the bell icon for latest national and international buzzing news.